What's happening with it, everybody? I'm not gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get straight into this video. But before I get into this video, do me a favor, make sure that you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel, and share this video because I'm about to give y'all the real reason why Showtime left boxing. Now, today, of course, we heard the news finally come out. We've been hearing rumors about it for quite some time now. It was no longer going to be any boxing on Showtime. So, I mean, pretty much with all these rumors surfacing for a long time now, we pretty much knew that Showtime was going to be leaving boxing. What we didn't know is we didn't know when. But the announcement just came today that they're going to be leaving boxing at the end of this year. So we're going to see the last Showtime card probably in December, and then it's not going to be no more boxing on Showtime. I don't even think it's going to be any more Showtime boxing on pay-per-view. So the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, if they rematch, it ain't going to be on Showtime. Tank Davis's fight versus whoever he fights next, it's not going to be on Showtime. And so all these big name fighters that Showtime has or once had, they're not going to be no longer fight on the Showtime, right? The reason why, because there's a lot of people speculating on why the reason is, and Showtime failed, and that's why they wasn't producing numbers and everything. But the reason why is because things have evolved, and the people that do still have cable television, that age group is from people from the age range of 60 to the late 70s. That's 50%. 50% of those people, they still have cable. But that age group, they're not watching boxing. If they do pay for a premium subscription like HBO or Showtime, they're not paying for it for boxing. They're paying for it for special programming that they can't get nowhere else, like special documentaries and things like that. Or they're also paying for it because they're not tech savvy, so they don't know how to go to an app and pull up a movie and things like that, so they could just watch it on their cable television. So the rest of the world, let's say the ages of 18 through like mid-50s, it's a very small percentage of that age group, and that's the age group that's watching boxing that have cable. So if you're in that age group and you are a casual boxing fan and you don't know, okay, let me go to YouTube and go to this certain YouTube channel to see what's going on, you're never gonna know what boxing matches is coming up unless somebody else tells you that's a boxing fan. So that's what happened with boxing. They started promoting all boxing on these paid channels that people don't have no more. Y'all ever heard of the saying, out of sight, out of mind? Well, that's what happened with Showtime boxing. And that's what went on with HBO boxing. Out of sight, out of mind. The way people watch TV now has changed. Technology has evolved. The new generation is very tech savvy. Everything has evolved, so you have to evolve with the changes of times. But before this change took place, people had to have HBO and Showtime just to watch a movie. Now, if you want to watch a movie, you can go to Amazon Prime. You can go to Peacock. In these services, you get all type of other things on these services. I could go right now to Peacock or Amazon Prime and watch the same movie that's in the theaters. Years ago, you couldn't do that. So everybody that had cable, they was automatically gonna get HBO or Showtime because you couldn't watch no movies if you didn't have HBO or Showtime and these other premium subscription channels. So this has been a change that's been taking place for a long time. And y'all remember with HBO, they knew it, right? They seen the change taking place. HBO tried a last ditch effort and they started changing the type of fighters that they promoted. Instead of just promoting talented fighters and fighters that had charisma, they went and they started trying to promote Eastern European fighters, right? Because they thought that, okay, well, maybe we can stay in the business of boxing if we promote these Eastern European fighters, and then we're going to get all of the European fan base to come over and support. And they're going to pour money into HBO, and that's a way that we can stay into HBO. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Y'all remember when they was trying to promote Sergey Kovalev and Gennady Golovkin and all the Eastern European fighters, but that didn't work because they weren't American fighters. And so HBO, they tried that, it didn't work, and they ended up having to leave the sport of boxing sooner than what was planned. because they weren't producing the money no more. Their ratings and their programming went down, and it wasn't all because it was just boxing. It was because, like I said, things were evolving, and the higher ups, they seen that, and they were ahead of the game. And so what you see going on with Showtime, this is not something that just happened overnight. This has been in the making for years also. And just like HBO did, Showtime did the same thing. HBO, when they started trying to promote the Eastern European fighters, well, Showtime did the same thing with promoting mostly nothing but Latino fighters. So instead of promoting just the fighters that had talent or charisma and all of that, and I'm not saying Latino fighters don't have that. I'm saying that they got away from promoting talent and charisma and all that. They started trying to promote a certain ethnicity of fighter, and that was the Latino fighter. That's why all of a sudden you see all of the programming on Showtime with mostly nothing but Mexican fighters. You see all of the big pay-per-views that they would put on, the whole undercard would be Mexican fighters or fighters of Latino descent. It wasn't a mix-up of black fighters and white fighters and Latino fighters. It was mostly fighters of Latino descent, and that's it. And the obvious reason they did that is because, like I said, they've been getting the word for a long time that, hey, we might have to move away from boxing. So what Steven Espinoza did is he said, okay, well, the Latino fan base is huge in boxing. So maybe if we start promoting Latino fighters, that fan base is going to pour over to Showtime. They're going to start paying for Showtime, and that's going to translate into much bigger ratings. Well, it didn't happen. It didn't work for Showtime, just like it didn't work for HBO. So eventually, yes, they had to move forward with leaving the sport of boxing. Because like I said, the age group, the demographic that's paying for a subscription to Showtime is not the age group that's interested in boxing. And the ones who are paying for it, they're not paying for it to watch boxing. The people that's paying for Showtime just for boxing is a small percentage. The rest are the age group that's very, very tech savvy, and they know how to get this shit for free. They don't have to pay for it to see it. But y'all know what? That age group, they are paying for Amazon Prime. They are paying for Peacock and these services like that, right? These apps that give you everything. PBC, they already got something big coming up, right? Andre Berto, he just said that Al Heyman got something cooking big. So we know that this is not the end of PBC. But in order for PBC to thrive like they want to, they're going to have to put boxing on an app that promotes everything on national TV also, right? That promotes that app on national TV, that everybody know about it. Like Amazon Prime, if you go to Amazon to buy anything, you see advertisements pop up, right? If you go to the Amazon Prime video section, they're promoting movies and everything that they have. Now, I'm not saying that boxing is going to Amazon Prime. I'm saying that they need to be on a platform like that to thrive. To where if you go to your Amazon to watch a movie or watch something, bam, this boxing event pops up. Bam, they have programming showing you, the life of this fighter. They're going to have to put more money into promoting it. Let you know about these fighters so you can actually know them on a personal level. They're going to have to do a lot more things for boxing to thrive like it once did in the 80s and 90s. Amazon Prime, you know about Amazon Prime, not just because you pay for it each month, because they actually promoting it on national TV. Peacock, they promote Peacock when you watch NBC. Everybody still have national TV. They still have these channels like Fox and ABC and NBC. They watching football and everything else on these channels still, no matter what age group you are. So if you put PBC on Peacock, well, they're going to be able to promote that on NBC. People are going to be able to catch on and know what's going on in boxing because it's in their face every time they go to Peacock or every time they watch NBC. If you don't evolve with the times, you're going to get left behind. Showtime knew that. HBO knew that. PBC, They're going to have to evolve with the times, and that's the way that they're actually going to thrive and be successful. And when I say successful, I don't mean just compete with the ESPN and the Zone, because you've already shown that you can compete with them and probably surpass them on a high level. I'm talking about bringing boxing to what it was in the 80s and 90s, taking the sport to another level, right? Because that is the ultimate goal, to be able to take the sport to a whole new level than we've seen it in a long time. Because you already have the talent. Y'all got the talent on the PBC, but it's about what you do with the talent. So it's all going to depend on where you end up at, and then when you go to wherever you are they going to be shown on national TV, the advertisement? You're going to have to be willing to put more money into advertising, and maybe for a while you might not be able to pay these fighters the big bucks, because you're going to have to choose whether you just going to put all the money into the fighters, or you're going to have it evenly spread out so you can advertise more, right? So you can put on programming to let people know who these fighters are in their personal life, what they've gone through. You got to do things to gravitate people into wanting to see these fighters fight. It take money to make money, baby. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Make sure that you comment on this video. I want to hear what everybody else got to say. And also, make sure that you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
So everybody ride. Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide.